Hello, people. I want to introduce myself. My name's Al Palmer. I own Palmer Truck and Trailer Repair in Scottsburg, Indiana. Um, Pretty successful business. I run here in Charlestown. I run as far away as Cincinnati, E-Town, Kentucky. I see everybody. I see a lot of people. The 2A groups, I'm going to tell you something. I want to explain a little bit about myself. When I was 17 years old, getting out of high school, um, I begged my mom and stepdad to take me into a recruiter, and they did. Okay. I want to be a Navy guy. Okay. That being said, okay. Strong supporter. My grandpa walked across Europe, liberated a lot of camps over there from Hitler. My son-in-law just enlisted. He's heading out to Fort Benning the 25th. My daughter enlisted. I have a steep military history in my family. I'm going to tell you a little something about guns. And this, people say I have the patience of Job. In my younger days, I was known for having a very violent temper. I want to show you something. If any man should hate a gun, it should be me. I believe in about 1967, my mother took 2 rounds from my 22 to the stomach. It severed a piece of her heart. She laid in surgery for a very long time. Okay, accidental gun shooting. She has scars, huge, big scars on her stomach. She had 6 more children after that. So that's, to me, that's strong. And she still don't mind guns. Okay. I want to introduce you to somebody. This is my daughter, Savannah. On a Friday in 2016, my daughter kicked in my bedroom door and took a 12-gauge shotgun and blew this whole side of her head off. Should I hate guns? I don't hate the guns, people. I joined a company called Brown & Brown. I worked overseas a little bit, off and on for 3 years. Good pay as a contractor. I've seen what third world countries do when politicians take all the guns from people. I've seen it when they, you look up the street, and we was over there guarding an oil rig, an oil crew one time on a pipeline, and we seen this big event going on, and we go up there, and I think it was Venezuela, I'm not sure, but anyway, we decided, we're having a few beer, we're going to walk up here and see what this big event was going on in the stadium. We thought it might be a soccer game or something like that. So it was me and about 5 other guys, Mike and John and Paul. We walked up there, and we walk in, and this is what happens in countries where people don't have guns. They were having public beheadings. Okay? Your Second Amendment is something that's very important. And if you don't understand it, you ask, there aren't many Holocaust survivors left. Ask them what Hitler done in 1937, 36, 37. The first thing they done was made a gun registry and then confiscated all the guns. And once he confiscated all the guns, he killed 40 million Jews. So you take it from somebody that has lived through gun violence, has seen, I've been shot at many times. And I will tell you, division will tear these groups apart. Number one, I'm not going to hold it at an event where a friend owns a bar or anything like that. I'm going to find suitable places like the VFW, the American Legion, the AMVETS. There are many, many, many organizations out there that are willing to help you and will go about and tell you about things like the Supremacy Act, Posse Comitatus, all these different things that you need to understand. Most high school graduates don't even understand the Constitution. So let me ask all of you this in these groups. Hi, Mike. How are you doing, man? I'm trying to explain this in the best way I can. My mother was shot before I was ever born. I'm a miracle. A gun could have stopped me from being here. My mother took 2 rounds with a 22 hollow point to her abdomen. Okay. She lived and had 6 more children after she was shot. Okay. My mom don't hate guns. She knows it's a tool, like a hammer or like my wrench is in my toolbox. Okay. I have lots of guns. I have pump shotguns. I have high-powered rifles. I have AR-15s, AK-47. I have all kinds of guns. It's no different than any tool that I have in my toolbox out there. These 2A groups, I've seen them. They had an event at Hardee's, and I guess one of my friends, Lonnie, went, and it was not well organized. And I understand his complaint that they didn't. It was more like a gathering to promote Hardee's Cafe. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. This division amongst these people, this infighting, will make everybody look like a bunch of inbred hillbillies that don't know nothing about law and aren't going to support the Constitution. I'm sorry if you people are offended by what I'm saying, but I'm here to tell you right now, if they take your guns, you will become slaves, period. It's been proven since way before the Roman Empire existed. If they take your weapons, you're done. If anybody should hate guns, guys, I should hate guns. I could not even bury her. I had to have her cremated because one whole side of her head was gone. With the gun that I give her to hunt with, she had passed a county hunting course. She had been to the state police post, passed a hunting course. She had took one through the DNR. She had all kinds of little certificates, hunting courses and things like this. Okay, so just to be clear on why we need our Second Amendment, it's because you don't want to become a slave. That's a little history on my background, on what I have lived through. Okay, and if anybody should hate guns, I should hate guns. But I don't. A gun is no more than a tool. But the rights that you guys are fighting for, let me explain this to the 2A people. The Supremacy Clause in the Constitution gives the federal government all say over the states, okay? No matter what law they pass in Virginia, no matter what they say in Illinois, no matter what they say in Texas, if it goes against federal law, it can be taken to the Supreme Court and it can be overturned. Just like Roe v. Wade or many of the other things that went through the Supreme Court. The Second Amendment is non-negotiable. Shall not be infringed is one thing the Supreme Court has already said. That means you cannot never do that. It's untouchable. Okay, so the ones out here promoting these groups for Jackson, Jennings, Clark, Scott, understand the legalities of it. As a soldier, you take an oath. You take your orders from the President of the United States or your superior officers. Period. And if it's the law, you will do that law, or you will be arrested or imprisoned or shot. The problem we have today is the politicians are doing it blatantly, right out in the open. They're not going by the law. Our Justice Department, I say, is getting ready to have a lot of indictments for laws that were broken. Even the federal government is one of the largest exporters of weapons on the planet. Our nation owns more guns than any other on the planet. So I just want to do this video. Hopefully Lonnie Wells or Diane E. Mullins, somebody will share this video with these groups. You need to understand. Quit losing your head. Your ass is soon to follow. And get some smarts about your Constitution. Understand what the Second Amendment means and why it was put into place. Thomas Jefferson, Thomas Paine, many of the founding fathers will tell you why it was put in place. It was not for deer hunting. It was not for, sporting. It was for tyranny, which means any government or any entity trying to destroy your rights and your way of life. That is why our military exists. I just want to make this short video to where everybody would understand who I am, why I support the Second Amendment, even though a lot of people say, well, you're nuts. You lost your daughter to a weapon. Yeah, if my daughter had done that with a extension cord, am I going to quit using extension cords? If she done with a knife, am I going to quit using a knife? People, let's be realistic. The Second Amendment protects our weapons, protects our homes, and I promise you, without your Second Amendment, you're a slave. You will have people walking on you that you never thought would be allowed to walk on you before. So I just want to make a short video. I thank every one of you. I love you all. You're good people. And you know me, everybody knows me. I own lots of guns. I was a super crazy gun owner, I guess, as far as owning weapons. I like antique weapons. I guess I would have a howitzer if I could own one. I just like them. I enjoy them. But let's be realistic. Unless you people get organized and you get somebody from a legal standpoint that understands constitutional law, we're just batting at the wind. So here's what you need to do. You need to educate. That should be number one in the events. You need to educate. Have copies of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights there. Have a copy of the Second Amendment and its supporting amendments. Okay? You need to educate these people. And we would have to be foolish to think that only Republicans own guns. That is not true. Democrats own guns, independents, atheists, you name it. A lot of people own guns. Should some of them not have them? In my opinion, yes, there should be some people that should not own weapons. But it is not for me to decide. It's someone with a legal authority. When you take an oath, you hold your hand up and you say, okay, I'm going to support the Constitution. But read on the rest of that oath, okay? And then you will understand where I'm coming from. When does that oath take effect? When they come to my door and take my guns out of my home, or try to, that's when my oath will, without legal jurisdiction, without the Supreme Court saying, okay, go take them. That's where we got to make a decision at. Making this at a county level, okay, that gives you a legality to say, okay, they come here, they try to take our guns, we shot at them, okay. But I promise you, the supremacy clause, the federal government, is just like prohibition. There was hundreds of thousands of people murdered under prohibition. So just so you guys understand where I'm coming from here, I want to make a short video, explain to you who I am, why I support the Second Amendment, even with all of its faults, and why we don't want to become another Germany, pre-war Germany. I would say if there was a war to break out here, maybe 100 million, 200 million people would die. We are the most weaponized nation on the planet. No matter what the governor of Virginia says, if he passes an unconstitutional law before the ink ever dries on his signature, the Supreme Court is going to have papers laying there by the NRA and all these other groups, the 3%ers, all these other groups got lawyers to go stop it immediately. What you're not being told in the media is that there's already lawyers working that. And the minute it gets to the Supreme Court, it's going to be killed because they're going to prove it unconstitutional, and the governor will be demanded to take it down. So it's time. So you have to be patient. If you lose your head, your ass is soon to follow. And just people band together, sign the petitions, do whatever makes you happy. But I promise you, when it comes down to the Second Amendment, the only opinion that matters is that Supreme Court. And with it stacked full of, let's say, conservative judges and such, I don't never see any repeal of the Second Amendment. You guys have a great night.